Hello Skul Rebels, Lord Skul here, and welcome to my Skul Rebels channel. You're probably asking, Lord Skul, why are we doing Skyrim? The reason being is because loads of people were asking me, Lord Skul, what's going on? I mean, I have no idea what you're doing in these videos, so can you please explain it to me? So that is what I am doing now. I am explaining to you the four main elements of what's going to be happening in my series. They are weapons, magic, enchanting, and smithing. So in order to show you the weapons, I'm going to go into my house, which is this, and there's my wife over there and my daughter's around there somewhere, so I'll go and play. But I'm going to go into first person because loads of people wanted me to go in first person more, so yeah, let's go. So in order to show you what the different things are, we must go to an anvil, and this is used to create all of the different types of things. There is hide stuff, iron stuff, studded stuff, which is basically there's only studded armor. There's imperial stuff, steel stuff, leather stuff, dwarven stuff, elvish stuff, orcish stuff, ebony stuff, glass stuff, dragon stuff, daedric stuff. Jewelry is just average, and then building materials is used for the DLC that I've got. So what you want to do, basically there is different types of weapons. I will use steel to show you this. So here we have a battle axe. Now, a battle axe does 15 damage, and that's pretty good, considering that that's quite a lot of damage for a weapon. Only problem is that battle axes are very slow and need two hands to wield, so you can't have a spell in one hand and the axe in the other. Whereas daggers are very small. They are very quick, but they do hardly any damage at all, and they can be held in two hands or spell in one hand, knife in the other. They are often used, and they are much quieter to carry and are therefore usually used by sneaky people. Great swords. Now, great swords are faster than battle axes, but usually do less damage. Battle axes are slower than swords and do middleish damage. And then you have, if I can find it, warhammers, and they are the slowest of all of them, but do the most damage. And then we go on to the single-handed weapons, and with the single-handed weapons, they start with the steel dagger. Then you get and they're the fastest. Then the next up from that, if I can find it, is the sword. Now the sword is often quite fast, like wah wah, but it doesn't do as much damage as its counterparts. Whereas a war axe does slightly more damage, but is slightly slower. Whereas the slowest, but does the most damage, is the mace, as I have been showing in my first episode, just running around smacking everything in the face, which I find hilarious. And those are the different types of weapons and what they do. Now, to show you the different armor types, I'm going to go to Dwarven. Basically, for instance, the Dwarven stuff has an armor rating. Armor has an armor rating. And for instance, Dwarven armor, the main bit, is 70. But if I look at the gauntlets, they only are 28. It can vary. Whereas, so that's how much, and there are different types of armor. There's light armors, which are often used by sneaky people, and heavy armors, which are used by my sort of character. So if you look at the armor rating of that, it's 70. Pretty good. If I then look at iron, it's only 58. So it varies on the strength. I use dragon plate armor most of the time, it's got 95. Quite a few people use daedric because it's got the highest armor rating. I just prefer dragon because it just looks amazing, and you have to kill dragons to make it, and that is why it's amazing. So that is basically what armor does. And I will mainly in the series be using heavy armor rather than light armor because I'm not the sneaky nefarious type. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is magic. And if we go into a thing here, these are all the different types of magic. There are alteration, illusion, destruction, conjuration, and restoration. Alteration alters things. For instance, we have mage light and stoneflesh. Stoneflesh casts an aura around our bodies, whereas mage light is pretty cool. Ball of light! That's pretty much all it does, but it's still pretty cool. It's useful in dungeons. Illusion often changes how we see things. Like for instance, courage enables people who are walking with you on your team to fight harder. So for instance, if you have, they won't run away if an enemy has said effect, and that shows the path to the current goal. So illusion basically shows you things and hides you, like invisibility. destruction. My favourite kind is stuff like fireball, sparks, like I've been using in my series, and thunderbolt, lightning bolt, thunderbolt. Now I've just got to show you something really awesome with this. I'm sorry, I just have to do this. Look. Oh come on, I don't have enough magicka. Okay, let's try with. It costs a lot of magicka, thunderbolt. Let's try lightning bolt instead. Ka me ha me ha. Yeah, that's awesome. That is just awesome. So that's destruction. Then you have conjuration, which enables you to like what the word conjure means is it mean appear it, like make it appear. So for instance we have bound bow, bound sword, I'm going to show bound sword, and conjure atronach. So bound sword, what this allows me to do, if I go back in first person, I do this, magical sword, which does quite a bit of damage. And atronach enables me to summon, here he is, or she is, an atronach. Hello, hello, to fight for me. So that's what she does. So yeah. And the last form of magic is restoration. Now this is consists of healing and pretty much warding and undead spells, like warding away things and healing yourself. So healing you've seen me using. You probably haven't seen me using fast healing, but the only difference between healing and fast healing is that fast healing does that, and it's done quickly. That's the only difference. So that's magic. Let's move on to the next thing. Enchanting. Okay, so in order to enchant, you need to go up to one of these things, the enchanting tables. So if I go up to it, or arcane enchanter if you want to be specific. Now there are several items. To disenchant an item is you take an item and you destroy it to learn an enchantment that's on it. You can do that, but I'm not going to do that. So in order to enchant, I've forged a Dwarven War Axe here. So you want to select your item. Then, because I've used the perks to get 2 enchantments on each item, I can get 2 enchantments, but usually you'd only have 1. So say I'd have, say I wanted shock damage, and then you've got this selector bar. I'm just going to click yes, magic and magicka damage. Shock damage and magicka damage. There we go. Shock damage and magicka damage. So then, now that you've got both enchantments, you choose a soul gem. I've got black soul gems, which are the most powerful. So you choose a soul gem, and then you can rename it, as it says down here. You can rename it. So I shall rename it Axe of the Skull Rebels. Boom. Craft. Enchant item. Yes. So now if I exit this, and I go into items, I go into weapons, here it is, Axe of the Skull Rebels, and it says what enchantment it has, and if I equip it, and I fill my weapon, here it is, Wacha! Wacha! Yeah. So, now onto the last bit, and this is the Wabberjack, just saying, it's amazing. Now onto the last bit, as I was saying, so, punch, 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 and that last bit is crafting. So let's go. Okay, so in order to craft something you need the appropriate items, and you need to go to either one of these forges or one of the forges that I'm going to use in my cellar. So if I open this wardrobe, I've got all of a load of things that you can use to make stuff. And what I'm going to do, if I go down here, here we have my cellar. This is glass armor, by the way, it looks amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to forge a glass greatsword. What was I going to forge? No, I was going to forge I think it was a elven greatsword, was it? I don't remember. What was I going to forge? I was going to forge something. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to forge an ebony, let me find it, ebony bow, that was it. So for that, it says I need 3 ebony ingots. But for something like gauntlets, it's going to say like I need 2 leather strips, 2 ebony ingots. For armor, I'm going to need 3 leather strips, 5 ebony ingots. It changes depending on what you want to make. But I'm going to need 3 ebony ingots to make this bow. So I'm going to go back upstairs. And I'm going to go into my wardrobe. And I'm going to get ebony ingot. Okay, I want 3. 3. There we go. Go back down into the cellar. Go over here. Use my forge. Go down to ebony. Ebony bow. Do you want to create this item? Yes, I do. Ebony bow added at the top there. Go into items, weapons, ebony bow. Pull it out. Here we go. I've got my bow. Yeah. I'm going to fire an arrow. Can go pick it up again. Right. And because I've upgraded it, I can go. So cool. So, yeah, that's basically the main things that you might need to have a little bit more of an understanding about. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace!